Hey everyone, it's Justine, and today I'm bringing you this birthday card. It is featuring the Birthday Friends stamp set from Pretty Pink Posh, and I'm really excited to be working with this today. I'm trying to create a masculine card here, and I'm creating it for a very special little boy who has his birthday this weekend, and I thought I'd show you how I would make it. So I'm just grabbing a bunch of the shapes from the stamp set, so I'm grabbing the two little boys, and then a bunch of different accessories, like the cake, party hats, and the gifts, so that I can create a scene when it's all finished. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to be using all of these shapes here, but I am going to color them all and see what happens. I am using some 80-pound Neenah Solar White cardstock here to stamp onto. I just grabbed a piece out of my stash, and then I'm going to be stamping using my mini Misty stamping tool, using some intense black ink from Simon Says Stamp that is a Copic friendly ink. I'm going to not only just stamp it once, but twice in order to darken each of the figures and give them more definition. That's my favorite thing to do with the Misty stamping tool, is just really darken everything up, and you can see such a big difference between the first and the second time. Now for Copic coloring here, I am actually putting the colors up in the corner there for you. I always start off by going in with the lightest shade first, followed by the darkest where I think the shadows are. I blend that out a little bit with the medium color, and then I go ahead back over everything with the lightest color. One of the other things I try to do when I'm creating scenes is to color multiple different items with the same colors. So for example, I have the blue on his shirt, the gift, a bow, as well as a balloon, so that everything coordinates together in the end. And I try not to use too many different colors. So for this, I created a nice blend combo with yellow, red, blue, and gray in order to keep things quite simple, other than the fact, of course, of the skin color and hair. Copic coloring and coloring in general comes naturally to some people and not naturally to others, like myself. So I've been taking Kit and Clowder classes to learn more about coloring fundamentals and how to color, and it really is practice making perfect. I wanted to slow down a little bit for the hair, so unfortunately my hand is kind of in the way because I do hold my pen quite upright, and I grab the pen and I make flicks. I go from light to medium to dark to medium to light, and I go until it's happy and I'm happy and everything is colored. So it's nothing too complicated, but it does require a flicking motion. So it means I start off thicker and then I whisk off so it creates a really fine point at the end. And I'm just finishing off here by doing the birthday cake. As I said, if you'd like more details on how to color, I really encourage you to take those Kit and Clowder classes. Okay, so I'm just going to go in with a white gel pen here, and I'm going to try to make that sort of balloon shine there because I didn't really include much of it when I did the Copic coloring itself. And that was just an extra little detail that, of course, isn't really necessary in the end. I took all the coordinating dies and I put them down onto my Big Shot, and I die cut them. I did that off screen because I'm doing a die cutting here, so I'm doing the die cutting with the Storybook 6 die from Pretty Pink Posh, and this is just a really pretty window die here. So die cutting is nothing crazy. You just put it between these two plates and then you throw it through your machine and it cuts out what you need. So I did that with the coordinating dies as well as this window, and I am going to be hanging on to all the pieces. I folded then a piece of cardstock that measures 11 by 4 1/4, and I scored it in the middle at 5 1/2 inches. This is Neenah Solar White 110-pound cardstock. And then I went ahead and I glued down the Storybook 6 frame, so that is cut into a panel that measures 4 by 5 1/4 inches. I'm using my Tombow Mono liquid adhesive to adhere everything to my card today. Now, if you're following along just live with the video, what I would suggest you doing is gluing all of the rectangles back into the middle of these. I know it's kind of, you think, oh, well, I wanted to create a window, but they're going to look really nice if they're all put back in there because you get some extra stitching and extra detail. So for the party hats, I actually, when you die cut them, they have sort of a white outline around them, as you can see. So I'm just going in with my scissors and I'm cutting off the bottom part of the party hat so that when I stick them on top of their heads, they don't have a white piece on the inside. I'm going ahead then and tucking these little boys into the card. And as I said, I did go back later and I actually put those pieces and panels behind them on the top 2 layers, and I wish I would have done it on all 4. But it wasn't really possible to do that much card surgery in the end. So I just rearranged everything here. I have the boys holding the gift and then as well as the birthday balloons, and I put another gift there in the middle to just create sort of a nice scene. And then you can see those party hats, how I cut off the bottom part of the white layer just to make them look a little bit more natural and that they're really sitting on top of their heads. Obviously their birthday hats as well, I coordinated with their clothes. The last step here was adding the sentiments, so again, using that same Simon Says stamp Intense Black ink, I stamped the Birthday Wishes sentiment, which also comes in the stamp set. And it took me a little while to figure out where I wanted to put it, but then I did settle finally on the bottom right-hand corner. Of course, you could also put it up towards the top or over to the left-hand side. Everything looked nice, but I thought this covered up the least amount of the scene. So this is where I decided to kind of go back in and add those little rectangles to the back of the card. It did require me lifting up some of the areas, including his party hat, and it just adds that extra stitch detail, which looked really nice. It's completely up to you, though, whether you wanted to do this step or not. And a Pretty Pink Posh card cannot be complete with some amazing sequins, so I decided to go ahead and add some from the Bermuda Blue sequin mix, and I'm just adding these with some Tombow Mono liquid adhesive and a pick-me-up tool to help me pick up the sequins and put them onto the card. So you just pick it up, it's almost like a piece of gum at the end of it, and then you lift up the gum holding down the back end of it, which is just a piece of plastic, and that usually works. It's obviously not going to work for me today while I'm doing the video, but that's okay. So it works, I would say, 9 times out of 10. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this card tutorial today and that you'll check out my other card tutorials featuring Pretty Pink Posh that will be coming up later this month, as I'm going to be a regular video designer for them. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I hope you have a wonderful week. If you're interested in subscribing to my channel, you can hit the subscribe button or click on my face there, or you can check out one of my suggested videos. Bye for now.